Hello there, it's David D'Angelo from petfoodreviews.com.au. In this podcast, we have a Pedigree Try Dog Food review from Rachel.
Pedigree dog foods. Pedigree is a household name. Most Australians think Pedigree is a good brand. It's certainly been around for many, many years. I remember it being branded Pal and then later changing to Pedigree. You can buy Pedigree as both a wet food, can, or dry food. Today I'll be looking at the dry food, specifically the adult chicken formula. And I'm going to help you decide whether Pedigree is good for your dog. Let's start with a fact that not many people know. Pedigree is a brand made by Mars, as in Mars Bar. Mars are a very big global conglomerate. They make many pet foods in Australia. If you've heard of Optimum, Advance, Royal Canin, they're all Mars brands of varying quality. Pedigree sits fairly low in the quality stakes. Royal Canin is probably the most premium brand by Mars. After that, you've got Advance, Optimum, and then we're going down to the Pedigree level. Pedigree is very popular, mostly, I would think, because it's cheap. But also, many people are familiar with the name Pedigree, and if you are familiar with the name, it's easy to believe that is a good quality product. Marketing obviously has a lot to answer for. Mars have got a lot of money for their marketing department, and their brands are very heavily marketed. Marketing isn't always honest, or shall we say it can be very deceiving. Marketing doesn't often tell you what the product actually is, and we will cover that soon. But first, I want you to consider your dog. I consider dogs as carnivore, or at least a very carnivore bias. They're definitely more carnivore, like a cat, than they are like us as an omnivore. We should be feeding our dogs meat or animal products, high protein, high fat from animal, and that's what they'll benefit from the most. If you look at the ingredients in Pedigree, in this case the chicken formula for adults, you may be surprised to learn I would consider there are only two main ingredients. The first, and most important and significant, is whole grain cereal. Does that sound to you like the best ingredient for your carnivorous dog? The second ingredient is meat, but it's a poor quality meat inclusion of meat byproducts, the byproducts of meat, which could be leftovers, we don't really know. It could be skin. And there's some form of meat from poultry, beef, and or sheep, which be whatever could be sourced cheaply at the time. But when it comes to those two main ingredients, it's very likely the first one will be most of the formula. To me, that's not good news for your dog and their long-term health. When it comes to the smaller inclusion ingredients, we have canola meal. Canola is a source of fats and fatty acids, whereas your dog would benefit more from animal fat. And then you have natural flavours, whatever they may be. They say chicken in brackets, but we don't really know what natural flavours are. You have beet pulp to firm up your dog's stools to make it appear to you like they're healthy and have a healthy digestive system. Then we have salt, minerals, amino acid, essential vitamins, antioxidants, of which, ambiguous again, we don't know what they are, vegetable powders, and to end on a bad note, colours. And you know food colours aren't the best thing to have in your food, or your dog's food. As a whole, what we have is a very high carbohydrate kibble. Carbohydrates will likely lead to obesity, lethargy, or general poor health for your dog. In my many years being involved with pet food, I find wheat which is normally what we have when we have whole grain cereals, to be one of the most problematic grains that you get in a dog food. It's used because it's a very cheap inclusion. It's very cheap to make a dog food, mostly from grains, particularly grains like wheat. When I find a dog has itchy skin, hot spots, ear infections, lethargy, that kind of symptom, I normally find it's related to wheat or an ambiguous ingredient like cereal grains. And they're only the more common or noticeable symptoms. The long-term health of your dog is a different matter. How bad do you think a diet of cereal grains will be on your dog's health over the next 5 or 10 years? Armed with that information, do you feel like Pedigree is a good choice for your dog? And there you have it. I hope this review of Pedigree dry dog food has helped. Make sure you visit the website petfoodreviews.com.au. Take care.